Forgive me, Admiral, but am I a joke to you? A problem, Ri'shad? Yes, my current assignment. I'm to introduce the rest of the Federation and its allies to that ship. What's the problem? I'm a Palladian. Romulan augment, specifically from the Mirror Universe. Ah, well, I trust that you can be objective. You have been in command for a while. Oh yes, great. Yes, I'm now to hype up a ship during the era of the Klingons, as we keep hearing, that decimated my homeworld. Decimated the homeworld of the Romulans themselves. I'm a Romulan augment. I was engineered to defeat the Terran Empire. You want me to hype up a ship that made them as dangerous as they are? Okay, let's do it. Pretty sure this is going to burn. Julantru, and welcome to Shadowstar. I'm the Terran Renegade Ri'shad, and this is a Starship stats review video of the newly introduced Federation Starship that was refitted by the Terran Empire. The beauty on screen, the Mirror Constitution Warship. And you know what? She has some actually really mighty stats. All jokes aside, and I'm now from this point onwards going to endeavour to keep biases out of it, even though there are things that I'm questioning about Cryptic specifically. That's not really got to do with this ship's stats, so let's focus. Focus, Ri'shad. We are looking today at a ship based off of the Mirror Discovery Constitution. This is how the Constitution looks in the Mirror Universe. The Mirror Universe in Discovery and Starfleet canon as a whole, or sorry, Star Trek canon as a whole, the Mirror Universe had the Constitution much earlier. This is what led to the mass expansion of the Empire, the Terran Empire, and its overwhelming power. I do like the fact they've changed from a yellow to red paint. I don't actually like that, but I do like that. Why don't I like it? Well, it kind of breaks the canon, but I do like it because it looks amazing and I love red on dark. We are looking at a relatively, well, I'm going to say a completely new framework. Everything is different. So first of all, we will take a look at customization. But when we get into the stats, I'm going to warn you right now, support players, I'm very sorry. Dip out maybe. This one is not for you. This ship has a fundamental weak spot in the support zone. However, tanks and DPS, this ship is blisteringly strong. But support DPS players, don't worry. You guys may still be able to utilize this ship. However, it's science weak. That's the big warning I'm telling you all now. So let's get into looking at customizations and see what you can actually do with the Starship. So I'm getting this out of the way nice and quickly because I know there's a few things that a lot of you may be asking. Will it be there? Well, for those interested, unfortunately, Constitution that you're seeing there is the one you're on screen. It is the Discovery Constitution. We do not have the natural USS Defiant from Star Trek Enterprise as a skin for this ship. I believe that is a cryptic oversight. I think they may have forgotten that factor, that the USS Defiant is actually based on Star Trek Enterprise first, and therefore there was a lot they could call off from that. They didn't entirely forget it because the console does. But we at least have the Constitution Beta, the red nacelles, and you may be noticing slight modification differences already. Noting the neck, the pylons, the deflector dish, the actual secondary hull's primary shape, the saucer's primary shape, and just the front fittings of the nacelles. As we go into the Mirror Universe version, you'll notice the front fitting of the nacelles alter just a little bit. They intensify the blue glows back to the essentially beta nacelles. They might actually... whoops. No, they are all mirror. The neck is the one and only thing that does not change between any of these designs. The deflector is extended, I do believe. It's a very moderate change to the actual secondary hull there at the front. You get this little dome at the front of it. And obviously you see the raw changes done to the main saucer with those cutouts, which are actually weapon implements. So this ship actually has multiple weapon points added in the front, and they are very fitting since this ship takes the Enterprise-esque cannon and pulse cannons to the extreme. This is interesting to see because it's a way to say Star Trek Enterprise has been continued on with the use of the pulse cannons over beams, and I do like that. I like the fact that we had the red striping that's available. This is on the Mirror Constitution. You also have the Discovery Era Constitution hull itself, so you can use a lighter hull. You have the Defiant hull, which I think is brilliant. My only niggling dislike of that is that it probably should have changed the paint to yellow at this point, and should have changed that writing back to black. But okay, that's a niggly. As we look through it, all the other hull types work pretty well, and they do just gently warp on over, keeping that paint there nice and live with all hull variations that you can have. It's also good to see the Sovereign refit, NX refit, Intrepid and Galaxy available for this ship. I think that was a nice little addition, even if it doesn't 100% fit with the ship's design. We have the Constitution windows added in addition to the other window types, but no special bridge. Throw a prototype on if you want to. You can get the TOS bridge, which I think would be the most fitting for this ship should you wish for it. Personally, my favourite flight with this ship is literally to go Type 0 and flight like that. That's my personal favourite. A few modifications you can make over here. There is the Centaurus apparently for the pylons. Not sure exactly what that's changing with paint, but it's nice to see a different paint scheme is being used as a basic. But you guys want to know the stats. Let's get out there to the stats. I'm whittling on about the looks of the ship, and that's for the goddamn visual review. So, a small and slight disclaimer. I may have a fundamental dislike of this ship. For all of you Starfleeters and those obviously intelligent, you may know my history. I am from the Mirror Universe. I fought against the Terran Empire quite readily, and I know the history of not only my homeworld, but the Romulan homeworld itself. It's this ship that actually fundamentally led to the creation of the Palladians, our augmented Romulan race. And it was to counteract the power this ship brought to the Mirror Universe. Romulus is scarred beyond repair. In the Mirror Universe, Romulus is now actually completely destroyed because hope has still happened. But, yeah. It's a sore subject, this. So, why did this ship cause so much havoc in my universe, in the Mirror Universe? Well, first of all, this Tier 6 ship is not your average Connie type. It's a warship. Pure, unadulterated badass. We're looking at cruiser potential combined with escort potential. This leads to a hull modifier of 1.3, allowing at level 65 a maximum hull of 58,500. For those that don't realise, that is a pretty damn tough hull, even for a cruiser. She can take quite the punishment. However, her escort side shows with her shields being a measly 0.95, allowing her to take a lot more damage than you might expect. However, worrying about the shields is not our priority here. The shields are not the thing that's going to make or break the fight with this ship. Her turn rate is a impressive 13.5, flying right into a typical science turn rate basis and giving her plenty of agility to make use of her typical armament of cannons. However, you want to say go with beams, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, the cannons look pretty damn good. Her impulse modifier is 0.18 and an inertia rating of 50 means this ship does get a good flow on while it's flying and is relatively easy to stop and turn, so long as you remember what you're doing. I don't see why you would forget. It's relatively straightforward, but it's possible, I guess. Her bonus power settings are damn smart for this ship, exactly where you'd expect it to be, especially considering its fundamental weak spot as well. It capitalizes instead on its strengths, this being a +10 to weapons, +5 to shields, and +5 to engines. Capitalizing on its strength by being powerful, defensive, and fast. Her device slot is free, and she comes with the mighty weapon layout of 5-3. No experimental weapon slot, that might have been a bit overkill. However, if you do wish to upgrade this ship with the newly released experimental upgrade, you will definitely get a punch for damage out of her. You will not be seeing that from this ship today. I'm just saying the options there. She has 5 tactical console positions, 4 engineering console positions, and 2 science. I would be very open to say this ship actually has a problem for the Inquiry. You see, it's kind of funny to say this, but I was saying this when I talked about the Inquiry, wasn't I? I was mentioning how the Fleet Shepherd and the Fleet Avenger actually compete quite well with the Inquiry itself. Bit too well for a promo ship. Well, for an Infinity Lockbox ship, we're not seeing too much different. Ironically, this ship is on par really with what I've gone through so far with the Inquiry. If not, probably a little bit better. We'll get into that in a moment. But yes, I'm saying a Infinity ship, which is easy to get your hands on, as the Infinity is a cheaper set to buy than the promos. Yeah, I'm wondering about saying that, considering what it took to get this ship for me. But this aside, easier to get a hold of, slightly superior. If you missed out on the Inquiry, don't be too upset, because you got a pretty damn good option here. And she's not selling for too much in exchange yet, so get a hold of her while you can, because as we continue on, we are going to find certain things are, well, there. And I really do mean there, if you catch my drift. Why do you think she was able to burn Romulus so well? Bridge officers. I'm hesitant to talk about bridge officers because I'm really not sure what to say here. This is actually why it's taken me so long to talk about it. Bite it, I'm just going to flow. We have two commander positions on this ship. You heard me right. 2 commanders are available for this ship. You have a commander tactical position and a commander engineering position. Again, screaming to the ship's mighty PowerPoint, yes, the engineering is going to give you some support capabilities, but as most support players will tell you, you need a hefty amount of science potential, and so far this ship hasn't done too well. These 2 commander positions come at a cost. Your next two positions that I will talk about are the tactical and science. So we've got one commander tactical, but we've got one ensign tactical. One ability, maybe you can throw some good in there. And one ensign science. I'm done talking about science positions. You have one ensign science. Critical weakness there. Flawed beyond belief. Right now, this ship is fundamentally very weak for science builds. Luckily, there's a pullback, something that some support players can use, but this is going to take the engineering skills of a specialist support player really to take advantage now of this starship, which is probably my niggly dislike of the ship. So what I mean by this is that she has a Lieutenant Commander Universal Intelligence position. Now, when building a fundamentally strong build, that intelligence position is more useful to be used as intelligence roles than science roles. But that's just the problem for support players. They're going to want to use the science and intelligence, and you can't really do that because your science roles are already weak. You're going to have to sacrifice a bit of intelligence to have more science, and that creates the fundamental weakness here for the ship. However, tanks, no matter what style you're really going with, admittedly shield tanks, you might want to rethink the style you're going to work with for this one. But hull tanks and regenerator hull tanks, you'll be laughing. This ship is going to be absolutely piece of cake for you. Beautiful to fly, easy to get in the fight, easy to draw the threat, easy to keep yourself alive. And DPS players, tactical DPS players, you will literally be howling with laughter as we keep going on with this ship, because it's just going to get better for you. Side DPS, again, you've still got your potential there. But are you going to be choosing to go with Intel and do the Psi Intel hybrid with it? Or are you going to go pure Psi and sacrifice your Intel abilities? I can't say which is really going to get the better effect out of that. So I'll leave that really to your vocal communications. Let us know in the comment section what you reckon would be the smartest move. Overall, this ship is pretty damn strong. It's going to be a fighter. It's going to be enduring. It's not going to be so good supporting. So let's take a look at what she can actually do stats-wise. And can you get off my screen, please? Thank you. So we're looking at, for a trait at first, and the Warship Mastery. The trait is similar to ones we've already got for space traits, but this Starship trait is perhaps a new level of meta. Certainly some people I listen to reckon this will be a new meta. I'm curious. The trait itself has a fundamental great spot, and I'm wondering on the accuracy. After you defeat a foe, plus 25 to your accuracy rating for 20 seconds, and plus 5% to critical chance for 20 seconds. This is great. This is going to really help you smash the enemies to pieces. It will be a powerful trait. Definitely one for any DPS. If I'm going to rate it, well, thanks to it stacking up to 3 times, and it is pretty easy to kill 3 enemies within 5 seconds if you know what you're doing. A scatter barrage, multi-target hit at barrage. You're going to find yourself devastating the enemy with relative ease, I might add. I honestly believe this ship is going to have a field day with that trait. And I honestly believe if you use this trait on any other ship, you're going to have a field day. Probably some of the best will be the broadside builds, as they hit the most numbers in one go. But a control DPS build is going to also be able to really make use of this trait. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. It's great. I really do like the trait. It's getting 9 out of 10 because people I trust for intelligence and information state that this will be a meta trait. So I've got trust in them. Let's see if it does it. we've also got the Universal Console Interphasic Rift Generator. Now, I know what this is based in. This is based purely on how the USS Defiant ended up in the Mirror Universe, in Into the Mirror Darkly. Well, I've got problems with it. What this trait should be doing, and on its description I thought it might be doing, what it should be doing is driving the crew mad, but not harming the ship itself. The USS Defiant went to the Mirror Universe unharmed. She had minor power fluctuation damage, but that was it. So the most this should do is a slow or hold, combined with a subsystem disable and drain, and a confuse. Combined all those together, and you'd really get what that rift should be doing. However, for some reason, this rift deals damage. Are you going to be happy with the damage? Well, the active ability is a create interphasic rift that will do an AoE damage, power drain, and slow. Well, the power drain and slow are exactly what I was expecting to see there, but the AoE damage, I don't really think that should be there. It's required to be fired towards the forward arc within 180 degrees. The rift will last for 10 seconds. It will minus 10.8 of all current power levels per second to the target, and 674.6 kinetic damage per second, ignoring shields, which is actually quite a good amount of damage. And do you know what? Could someone pick up the phone? Because I fucking called it. I knew it would be listed as kinetic damage. Probably should have been slightly different, but okay. Minus 15% off flight speed as well, with 2-minute recharge time. The passive abilities of this console is its fundamental great spot though, with a plus 15% to critical severity, complementing the space trait beautifully, and a plus 15 to Starship hull capacity. Once again, this is a DPS and tanks just shining moment. It's a beautiful console. Real potential was sitting there. Real potential was sitting with this ship. It's selling quite cheap at the moment, guys. Last time I checked the exchange, it was at 600 million EC. That's not bad. Because when people start to realise what this ship is actually capable of, and I'm just going to say it right now, that's going to skyrocket. That is definitely going to jump to the 1 billion. I think this may become one of the most expensive lockbox ships. Because this is technically the strongest lockbox ship we've had in quite a while. Lord have mercy, you're about to see really what it can do. I'm done talking about all this fun stuff. I'm going to complete this build, take my Ptolemaeus build off of it, and we're going to take into action with a pure, unadulterated, forward attack combat. I'll see you in a moment. Helm, set course. Go! Okay guys, I need to make a quick correction to the previous statements made. That's right, I was wrong in something. Actually, the Mirror Constitution Warship wiki page is wrong. And so was apparently Cryptic. Because right now, this must be a bug, the warship has a universal ensign, not a science ensign. Just thought that'd be worth letting you guys know, just so you can see. Apparently I can't do anything with it too much. Not that I'm going to. I will be going sciencey here just for a little bit, just to keep it. I think you can tell already what this build is going to be. You might be happy to see it. Let's give it a shot. Hey, I'm a Romulan augment. What are you expecting me to do to this ship? Ha! So here's my Alliance variant of the ship. Kajo, you are ready? So, we'll be utilising this ship under the Romulan designation of the Plasma Dual Cannons and Quad Cannons, with plasma turrets on the rear and our dark matter infused quantum torpedo. This ship is built for multi-target destruction and minor control. Well, let's go here, have some fun, shall we? We'll test the rift first of all. It's also to utilise a sort of semi-balanced power setting, so this should be fun. Set that rift out there, see what it does. We're going to look at the level of damage that ship takes. It's actually affecting quite a variably good zone. Good damage, I like it. It's done enough damage afterwards. Let's bring these guys down. Full ballistic. Look at them sitting over there. Get wrecked. Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Anyone wonder why I use anomalies? Ooh, we're going to go for it again. Here we go. We're going for a basic shot on this one, so we're going to need extra power. Come on. I want to take you down as quickly as fundamentally possible. Whoop, there goes my shields. I'm going to use this hole to keep you in place. No, you've actually gone away. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, I didn't even see that ship going down. That's moderately concerning. That's just how powerful this ship is. I was going to think the ensigns, because I normally discount ensigns like they're worthless to me. Having the two commanders make having two worthless ensigns mean nothing. I'm pretty sure if I dragged all these guys into one fight right now, I wouldn't have too much trouble fighting them all. But I don't think they'll play ball with us. So let's just try this as a honest game. Get the barrages going. Oh, bad move. Bad flying on my part. I'm currently rear siding. There we go. Got the broad front siding in the last fight. Thank you. You guys want to play too, do you? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Spread out that fire gate. Oh, look at them just go down. Scatter volley 3. Well, what is it? Scatter volley 3 combined with torpedo spread 3. Erased them. I wasn't even trying. I don't really think I took that much damage. It's just, this ship is just that strong. Yes! Oh, I like this. I like this probably too much. I'm like really psyched for the ship. Really enjoying its power. If it wasn't just another blasted Connie, yet another blasted Connie, I would probably be far more happy. If it wasn't in the year of the Klingon, I would definitely be way more happy. The problem this ship has is it came in the year of the Klingon, when all the Klingons are actually getting in the year of the Klingon is story enhancements and new story missions for the Klingons. Nothing other than that, really. But it's pretty strong. It is a good ship. It's nice for the Federation. The Federation is getting too much love, but it's nice for the Federation. It's another constitution for the Federation, which is not nice for the Federation, because basically all the ships are... Look, I know a lot of Star Trek fans are literally TOS mad. A huge amount of the fan base is TOS. It started with TOS. Even those that came after TOS started with one of the others. A lot of them still really like TOS itself. And everyone has at least an appreciation for it. So much so that Star Trek Enterprise utilized the Connie because of that appreciation. Even Deep Space Nine had to do something with the Connie. and time travel, because appreciate its beauty. It was the first Enterprise. Alright, yeah. Would have been nice to have the TOS skin available for this ship. Would have been really nice. A mirror TOS skin. That's what this ship should have been given. Should have at least got that. Would have been nice if it came equipped with TOS phaser banks with a Terran twist of some kind, like some variant form of unique weapon, just to give it a little bit more value, really make it worth being in such an expensive box. But I do think this ship is very good, and why it's selling at a reasonable value, it's definitely worth picking up. If you get lucky with the gamble, the lockbox does tend to drop more. Don't gamble too much, guys. Never will I condone gambling too much. But if you want to take the risk, this is a ship that could be worth it. And if you don't want to take the risk, let me advise this. Get a few keys. Get as many keys as you can. Sell them in exchange. The keys are selling at quite good value in exchange at the moment. And with those keys, get the EC that you need to buy the ship from the exchange. And get it while it's cheap, because it will go up in price. The trait is brilliant. The console is brilliant. And this ship itself is brilliant. It's going to grow in value. Do I recommend the ship? Yes, obviously. I'm really not happy with Cryptic doing this yet again, but I still recommend the ship for DPS players and tanks. Support players, you can give it a miss. I wouldn't recommend it to you. Overall scoring, I'm not actually going to break down all the other scoring sections. I'm just going to give it a final overall scoring this time, because I think I've done too many Connies. I will say a little bit after this. Final scoring for this ship is going to be 8.5 out of 10. It's only marked down from 9.5 out of 10 because it's yet another Connie. It is literally another Connie. Calm down, Cryptic. You've done enough of them. As much as I like the little details, like the Terran crest. But yeah, that's where I view the ship. It's definitely a high scoring ship for me. So I'm going to ask the question now to you guys. How do you score the ship? Where do you feel? Are you happy that we got it? Would you have been happier to have a Klingon ship? And to get another discussion going alongside discussion on this ship in the comments section, I'm just going to ask all of you guys now who have actually watched to the end, because I know only a few of you have. I know most of you don't watch to the end. You literally watch the stats and then go off. So to you legends here at the end, massive appreciation to you. And I want to hear from you guys. What Klingon ship do you really want to see in the lockbox? A Klingon only. One that is for the Klingons. For the Empire of the Warriors. Me? I would love to see a Mirror D7 or Mirror Watcher. I love those battle cruisers. I think they're amazing. And I would love to see a mirror variant of them, sort of crossed and mingled with aesthetics from perhaps either Discovery or have a laugh with it really and do a mirror D5, D6 within the Enterprise area. I believe it would be D5, so a mirror D5, that would be awesome. That's what I would love to see. Let me know what you want below. Oh, and since we're wrapping up, guys, thank you for watching to the very end of this video, and let me give a huge thank you to my patrons and my donators and my Twitch subscriber who make this video and all my other videos possible. This couldn't be happening without you guys, and right now Negus, who made it possible for me to get this ship. Huge thank you to you yet again. You're at it again. Thank you so much. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this. Hopefully, I have not ranted too much. I've tried my hardest not to rant because I am actually angry about this ship and the pack and just what Cryptic is doing at the moment, but I don't want to let it come out in the videos, even though I will admit it. Till next time, remember, to the fall of the Empire. Ciao for now. Palladians for life. See, I even break the universe with that one.